Okay, we've called the meeting to order at 10 o'clock, and I'm asking everyone now to stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Pledge to the Texas flag. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one individual. And I'll ask Ask the city secretary to take roll, please.
Chairperson Joe Katarba.
Here.
Vice Chairperson Kathy Maldonado. Here. Commissioner Larry Alford.
Here.
Commissioner Jack Bowes.
Here.
Commissioner Rogers Hull.
Here.
Alternate Commissioner Lydia Johns. Here. Alternate Commissioner Chris Saunier.
Here. Okay, time for public comments, and I have two resolutions.
Jones. Can you hear me? I'm therefore somewhat qualified to speak on the quality of life we wish to maintain in Brook Meadow. There's a definite difference between Brook Meadow and Woodcreek environments. Members of this committee are charged for speaking for both Brook Meadow and Woodcreek segments of the community. Woodcreek enjoys having the golf course in their backyards with the inherent beauty of green spaces for their home sites. Brook Meadow was designed to have larger lots, thus maintaining the same appeal of green spaces and quality of environment. The merger of Brook Meadow HOA into Woodcreek was not based on a desire to change our living environment. 5 years ago, the trajectory of Woodcreek changed. Look at the budget spending patterns. It appears there's an attempt to build a larger city government than we need for a city our size and expand in ways that were not originally intended by our citizenry. In order to accomplish this goal, a larger tax base will be required. What better way to increase that tax base than to take large available pieces of land and cut them up for developers and increase housing and population density. Woodcreek proper has minimal acreage for development, so why not make Brook Meadow look like Woodcreek? This will increase the tax base, change the nature of our country environment, not something that the voters in Brook Meadow are in favor of. Through recently signed petitions, we, the people of Brook Meadow, have expressed our desire to maintain its character. The recent election demonstrates the desired change and a course for the city as a whole. There's a proposal in front of this committee today that is a compromise and maintains to the best of our ability the character of Brook Meadow. It is our desire that we can return to a common community with common goals and become again a Woodcreek, and not two distinct and separate areas of alienated groups and feelings. We all want the same objective, that is to maintain our little piece of heaven and not be deeply divided and separated by commercial or revenue-based generation issues. Woodcreek has its golf course, Brook Meadow has its larger lots, thus giving us both the desired open spaces surrounding our living environments. I trust your committee recommendation today will reflect the expressed desires of the Brook Meadow citizens, thus maintaining the character of the city of Woodcreek. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Hambrick.
Good morning, Planning and Zoning Committee. I speak as a citizen, and when I keep looking at this, and I've seen it over and over again, we talk about the term overlay. I understand what Mr. Jones says about breaking it up into small pieces. The fact is, it's already replatted into many, many small pieces, and I believe that it's important that those property owners, first of all, be respected. They own that property. It was replatted that way, most likely either when they bought it or before they bought it, and it was already what it is today. And so if you see 35 lots on a piece of land or 45 or whatever it happens to be, that's what they deserve to do. Now, if planning and zoning and the city council decide to come along and put an overlay over that to make it 1 acre per house, that has to be done with the express affirmation of those people that own those pieces of property that have those plats. If that is not done, I believe, then it's basically an illegal act to try to put an over.
Of those citizens. Thanks.
Thank you, sir.
Chairperson Katarba, I do have one comment real quick. We did receive one written comment and it's stated on the agenda that will be part of the written record.
Legal rights of those citizens.
Yep, we'll see that when
Well, it'll be in the agenda packet now since it's been introduced as part of the written record.
Okay. We will now move to the consent agenda. The approval of the Planning and Zoning Commission minutes from October 12th, 2021. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the previous minutes. Second.
Okay. All in favor, say aye. Oh, we have to take a vote. I'm sorry. Vote.
Chairperson Katarba,
Yes.
Commissioner Alford,
Yes.
Commissioner Holt,
Aye.
Commissioner Bose,
Yes.
Vice Chairperson Maldonado.
Yes.
Okay. Regular agenda, discussion and take appropriate action on a possible change in zoning classification, including a potential zoning overlay and or lot subdivision minimum of 1 acre for the areas described in Brook Meadow Section 1, Brook Meadow Section 2, Brook Meadow Section 3, a re-subdivision of Brook Meadow Section 3, lots 1 through 35, 39, and 40. Brook Meadow Section 4, a subdivision of 15.98 acres of land under the Ransom Weed Survey number 63. Amended plat of a portion of lot 19, Brook Meadow Section 4, establishing lot 19A. Brook Meadow Section 5, a subdivision of 3.77 acres of land out of the Ransom Weed Survey number 63. Brook Meadow Section 6, a subdivision of 17.01 acres out of the Ransom Weed Survey number 63, requiring 1 acre or more lot sizes for new development.
Mr. Commissioner, I recommend we approve this rezoning classification.
I'll second that. Okay. We should have discussion now. And,
Well, it appears that I think there's about 100 homes in this area. And we've not had one individual from that area to come up and say something that we're doing something dumb or they're against it. And this has been advertised for the last couple of months. So those individuals living in this area should be well aware of this proposal to this board.
So based on that, that's why I'm recommending, that's why I recommend approval.
I'd like to ask a question, and I don't know if anybody knows, but I heard something about a petition. A petition would indicate that there were some people notified, would you like to have sign the petition? Does anybody know where the petition is? If we're seeing it, have they turned it in? How many people were on there?
That petition or a petition has never been submitted to PNC.
Okay. So second part of that question is, and his comment, does anybody know that there was any effort to contact all of the people and say, by the way, your area is coming up for rezoning?
The process would be if the recommendation is to council to begin the process, then the public hearings will be commenced. So every property owner within 200 foot of the overlay district would be contacted by mail that there would be a public hearing both before planning and zoning and the city council.
So what we're voting on today is just to begin the process. There's no changes to zoning at this time. So we're just voting for council. Our recommendation to council is to proceed with this process, which requires notifications, the public hearings. And then at that point, it moves to voting whether or not there's a change in zoning.
Yes.
I have a different idea for proceeding with the process here, and that is in reviewing the proposal for change and giving it a lot of thought and checking with some experts in terms of land management, land use. There are an enormous number of potential large number of legal issues associated with this change. And I would prefer, and I'm not sure what the exact method of doing this would be in terms of motions. I would prefer that we would vote to turn this issue over to city council for them to consult their city attorney to get a better grasp on what the legal implications would be for this type of change.
If you want to request, Commissioner Bowes will accept a friendly amendment to his motion, you may do so and accept it, and you can vote.
I can offer that as an amendment to the.
Yes, just Commissioner Bowes.
Okay.
Yes, I accept that.
I second that.
Okay.
So is there other discussion?
So need to call roll on the friendly amendment first for the discussion.
Okay, so the friendly amendment was to request city council to consult the city attorney. So the friendly amendment was to request city council to consult with the city attorney. Is that correct?
To propose the city council invoke the city attorney to look into the legal implications of this type of change.
Is that now the entire motion, or did?
That's part of it.
There's two parts to the.
Could you read the entire motion?
Okay, so this vote is just for the friendly amendment. Yes. So we'll vote on the friendly amendment. We'll go back to the main motion.
Real quick, I want to be clear before the amendment's voted on. Is it your intention, Jack, that the motion be that the zoning overlay be approved subject to council conferring with me, or in the alternative?
No, council, you're the consultant on it.
Correct, but what I want, is it a two-part or a one-part motion? In other words, is it that the Planning and Zoning Commission vote to approve the zoning overlay subject to the city council consulting with me, or is it simply you want the city council to consult with me?
No, the former.
Very good. Okay.
All we're trying to imply is, we don't want to put the city in jeopardy legally. That's what I think that's what Joe's implying.
Yeah, I get it, and I,
Because there could be lawsuits falling out of the ceiling here in 2, 3, 4 years. If that's a potential, that's what you need to advise the city council. We might not being lawyers, you know. Okay.
Given that very nice and clear explanation of where we're at, I would like to see, I'll propose that we eliminate the first part of that motion, the original motion, and simply vote to turn this over to city council for their consultation with the city attorney. So we don't vote,
I don't want to do that.
okay?
I don't.
We have to vote on the motion that was made before we can do anything else.
Okay, so first we're voting on the friendly amendment to amend the motion
Sorry,
to consult.
nominated in second, so we've got to answer that question first before we can move on. Sir?
Yeah, I see.
Would you read the whole motion then, now?
First, we're just doing the new part.
So the amendment is to recommend the city council to consult with the city attorney about the zoning overlay.
That's the entire motion.
That's the amendment.
I mean, the amendment.
Yeah.
That's what you're voting on.
Okay.
Does that imply that pending on the review by the city attorney, could we come back and rescind the original vote and change our mind?
so like Brenton previously said, this is simply the process of moving a recommendation or not from the Planning and Zoning Commission to the city council. This is not a binding vote to approve the zoning overlay. This is simply moving this item forward in the process. Now, ultimately, if the council decides that they want to proceed with this zoning overlay, then again, like Brenton said, there's going to be public hearings following notice to all property owners, one before this commission, as well as before the city council.
But if we have a hearing before this commission, could we still have a vote on the ultimate decision?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, it doesn't come back to us, does it?
Yes.
Yes.
It's a zoning change, yes.
It's the same as,
Oh, that's
it's the same as when the
That's
Grove's
right.
putting in, he's got a proposal, it's got to come back to the planning and zoning before it can move to the city council.
Okay, ready to vote on the friendly amendment to propose that city council consult the city attorney about the zoning overlay? Chairperson Katarba,
Yes?
Commissioner Alford,
Yes.
Vice Chairperson Kathy Maldonado,
Yes.
Commissioner Holt,
Aye.
Commissioner Bose.
Yes.
Okay.
Did y'all want to go back and vote on the main motion now, or do you want some more discussion?
No, let's make a motion. I mean, let's vote on it.
Yeah, quick call the question. Yeah.
I got a tea time in 10 minutes.
Commissioner Holt,
Aye.
Commissioner Bose,
Yes.
Commissioner Alford,
Yes.
Vice Chairperson Maldonado,
Yes.
Chairperson Katarba.
Yes. Okay, that was the only regular agenda item. Is there any other business before the Planning and Zoning Commission?
Make a motion, we adjourn?
Second?
Oh, I second.
We don't have to vote.
Come back, vote.
We just declare as adjourned.
Yeah.
Hit the gap.